Good afternoon. We're here today at the West Ham Sports Complex in a matchup between the Sackville Kings and the Valley Wildcats. This is a Kings home game, even though we are in West Hants. Starting goalies for tonight, the Kings have Joseph Saunders starting, and the Valley Wildcats have Jaron Maxwell between the pipes. The Wildcats enter this game with only 9 games played, but they're 4-5. And the Kings are 5-4-3 to start the season. As we are underway here. Neufeld with it. He loses that to Troop. Troop rings it around the boards. Ketty takes a bump there, but Banks picks it up coming through the middle. Zach Banks toe drag shot, and that's deflected off the netting, and there's a whistle. I think the refs may have heard the glass of the up on the track, and we were a little delayed with that whistle. That's okay. Good stick by Sideruk there. Kaysen Lively on the draw against Zach Banks. Lively snaps it back, and it's a glass play up to LeBlanc, but it hops over his stick. Ketty comes away with it, looking for options, heading back into his own zone. And it's to Banks with speed. Good track by Lively there. Sideruk gains the red. He's going to fire that around. Comes over to LeBlanc. Pearl pressuring. And there's a hit there by Patrick Gosling. Over the top, that's a shot. Good block, scramble in front. And Banks is there to clear it away. Sideruk deflected. Good block by Banks there. They wrapped around. Terrace is going to finish his hit hard on Cole there as it rings back around the boards. Centered in front. That was Romaine. Puts it low. Lemoyne looking for options. That's intercepted by Banks. And Pearl has it with time here on the right wing. Up for Etheridge. It's 2-on-2. Good stick there, and now Slavata coming the other way. Lemoyne, partial break, snapshot. That's high and wide. Weston to collect. Assistant captain for the Kings. Glover. Indirect pass. Back for Cole. One-time blast, and once again, that's high and wide. It wraps all the way around. Back out. Here's Cole. Turns that over to Gambin. Gambin takes a bump and loses it. And now there's Blandon to put it back into the zone. Weston. Reverses to Glover. It's back in the zone. Terrace with some hard pressure. That's taken off him. Slavata with the puck. Saucer pass, they go for the bomb, and McGammon's there to cover it off. And Cole's going to fire that back around with authority. Laid out for Cameron, that's turned over. And now here's Jackman, leading point scorer for the Kings. He's got 1 goal, but 10 assists in 12 games this season. Going to work low, that's Jackman again. One-time blast blocked. Terrace might have a break here. Takes it, draws a penalty, and is unable to get the shot off. That was Corkum, maybe a Miro. It's going to be a hook on Terrace as he was unable to get the shot off. Looks like that's going to be Jacob Amiro going off for the hook. Could have potentially been a penalty shot, in my opinion. So the Wildcats head to the power play. Just 3 minutes into this contest. Still looking for their first shot. It's Nolan Breen on the draw. Snaps that back quickly. They work it around. Up to Stoddart. Down for Breen. Breen surveying. Centered right out in front. 2 chances for McRae. I think he had 3 whacks at it there, but was unable to put it home. Back to collect. That's Stoddart. He's going to leave it for Breen. Nice pass there to McCray. He's got all kinds of time. Fakes the shot, holds it. He comes around behind, and they're going to set it up. Here's Stoddard. Across to Ringette. Ringette with a shot. No traffic, but there's a rebound. And Breen almost found that in front. Stoddard walking in. He's got time. Shoots it, and that's swallowed up by Saunders. So 4 shots there for the Wildcats so far. Just a minute into the power play. Joseph Saunders' stats on the season. Only 1 win and an .899 save percentage. 1-6 is his record. Here's Gambin. Puts that across to Cameron. Back to Gambin. Shot. Oh, and that's just off the glove of Saunders. He barely got a piece. Banks to Cameron. Chisholm pressuring high. Back to Banks. He's got time. Takes it, and Saunders saw that one all the way. Ketty with the screen in front. 50 seconds remaining on the manpower advantage for the Wildcats. Cameron wraps that around. It's Pearl. Pearl makes a move, but he's closed on by Grancelli. Up to Gambin. Down for Pearl. Gambin shot. That's deflected by Grancelli. Good stick there. Here's Banks looking to attack off the seam. Oh, and that's going to slide off the edge of his blade as Weston looks to clear. Good step up there by Gambin, but he can't get all of it, and it's back into the zone. Chisholm pressuring Cameron here as they look to break out. 10 seconds remaining on the power play. Here's Ketty. He takes a hit from Weston and loses his glove, and then goes back after him, and he puts him to the ice. And that's going to be a clear to end the power play. Maxwell out to play it. That's up for Etheridge. Etheridge pressuring Corkum. Good edge work there by Corkum to come away with speed. Lively tried to make a move, but he was thwarted there by Nickerson. That's back in the King zone here, looking to break out. Corkum almost gave that one away. And now here's Jackman with speed. Jackman up the right side. Stops up. He's going to have a shot, and that's knocked away by Maxwell as one forward goes hard in the boards there. And he's going to just wrap that around and ring it and go look for a change. Nearly given away there to Cole, but they're going to stick with it. And now they come away with speed. McCray up the right side. There's a hit there by Amiro to separate the man from the puck. Ooh, and quick move out in front of his own net there. That was Slavuta. Amiro reverses to Corkum. And now they come up ice. Lemoyne, they might have a break. But no, that's a good stick there. Shot by Breen, that's going to go just wide. Ringette now. Wraps it back down to Breen. Breen. Pressure by Sidoruk, and now they're coming back the other way. Lemoyne with it. He throws that in, he's going to give chase. Ringette takes a hit there. Gets it up for Terrace. Saucer pass, and now it's Pearl looking to settle it. And that's going to be offside. I don't know about... That didn't look offside to me, but I guess the puck in the air was not quite as fast as the people entering the zone. So we got 12:55 remaining in the first period. Wildcats 6 shots, Kings only 2. The Wildcats with 1 power play opportunity, unable to capitalize. A couple good chances for McCray, but some nice saves by Saunders. It's going to be Banks on the draw and Jackman. Frazier in there to win it. They go up for Thompson. He deflects it into the zone. Cameron back to recover. Tries to make a move there, and it's turned over. Jackman. Oh, almost had it. Thompson there in the slot. Shot on. Good save, Maxwell. It's in front. Thompson with a chance at it, and it's just off the side. Good save by Saunders there, down and out, but he's able to get a pad on it. Pearl tried to sauce that for Gambin in stride. Couldn't find his man. Here's Jackman. Looking to cut up the middle. Jackman still with it. He's going to wrap that around. Gambin looking to make a play. To Banks in the middle, and Gambin is taken out viciously there. That looked to be a knee of some kind. No call on the play. That was Thompson on Gambin as Gambin goes off. Clearly feeling the effects. Ketty, saucer to the middle for Pearl. That's intercepted. Good backtrack there. Troop makes a move to get around Frazier. Now the Wildcats enter. Here's Troop on the left side, all alone. Weston closes off on him there. Up the wall to Grancelli. And that's going to be turned over. Blandon keeps it in. Wrapped around, here's Frazier. Trying to get a stick on it, and he will. Advances it to center. Gosling pressured by Grancelli, and that's picked off by Culp. Good effort there by Blandon to get back and break up that play. And that is just going to get out. Now they have speed. It's Nickerson. Nickerson's going to draw a penalty there. Looks like it's going to be a slash as he gets a piece of a couple guys on his way out. It looks like that's going to be number 13, Nick Grancelli. He's going to go off 2 minutes for slashing as the Wildcats head to their second power play with 11 minutes to go in the first period. Wildcats power play unit, they have Breen, McCrae, Cameron, Pearl, and Stoddard are the men that they're going to go with first here. Both goalies perfect up to this point. Nolan Breen on the faceoff. They lose it, but they're able to block the clearing attempt. Breen fighting on the wall with Amiro, and Neufeld is in there as well. Terrace able to win that back. Pearl over for Stoddard. A little too hot to handle there. Tries to center it as the Wildcats recover. Terrace for Pearl. Man down, he's got room to walk. He's going to shoot. That's redirected by Breen. And a great save by Saunders as he's able to recover back to McCrae on the half wall. Up for Pearl on the blue line. Terrace in the left corner. Working on Amiro. Back up to Pearl, and that's going to hit a bump in the ice and skip over. Some pressure there by Chisholm on Pearl. But Pearl's going to win that foot race. And now McCrae winds it up with speed. Looking to gain the zone here for the Wildcats. A minute remaining on this man advantage. McCrae unable to get by Romaine, but then he's going to pin it. The Wildcats outman, but they're unable to come away with the puck, and it's cleared back down. That's Charlie LeBlanc. Here's Stoddard with the puck. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Zach Banks with speed. Works in down the left wall. Good stop up, but that's intercepted. Another good stick by LeBlanc. And sends the Wildcats back again. 30 seconds remaining. This time it's Ketty. Up for Blandon. Banks. Down to Blandon. He has Ketty in front. Chooses to shoot. And that's just wide. Cameron. Down for Ketty. Nice look there to Gosling. Banks reverses that around, and he is hit hard there by Cole. And it looks like that's going to be a penalty. Looks like an innocent enough hit from up here, but I think it's going to be a cross-check. And it is indeed going to be 2 minutes for cross-checking. So just as the Wildcats' second power play expires, they're gifted another one on a cross-check courtesy of Mason Cole. 8:53 to go in the first. Wildcats heading to yet another power play. They're out shooting the Kings 8-6. Start this power play. Looks like the Wildcats are going to go with Blandon, Ketty. That looks like Banks, Cameron, and Gosling. Banks snaps that back. Cameron, room to work. Shot, and Saunders with a good glove there. Saunders looks very strong on his edges to start this game. The Wildcats are going to need to get some traffic if they're going to be able to beat him. It's Jackman on the face-off to face Banks. They tie up. Glover, first man in. That's a nice play to clear it. Back for Ringette. Ringette up for Blandon. That pass was just a little bit too hard. Here's Weston, and he's going to clear that out into the Wildcat zone. Banks makes one move, turns it over, and now they're going back the other way. But Ketty's back to pick it up. Looking to offload here. One cut back, and that's some good pressure there. Jackman there to pick it up. All alone against 3 Wildcats here. Blandon pressuring. And Banks looks to line him up and hits his own man. They had Jackman flat-footed with three men pressuring. Banks can't quite handle that one, and it's wrapped back around. A minute to go on the power play. It's Pearl to collect here. And he's going to... Up for Terrace. He tries to make a move. That's stopped. No icing. It seemed to be right on the blue line. The Kings looking for an offside there. They're not going to get it. Terrace up for Pearl. Back down to Terrace. Good stick there. That's lively. Rims around for Gambin. To Breen in the slot, a shot. That's just off the glove of Saunders. Another good stop there. Pearl coming down the right side, looking for options. Goes behind the net. Up for McCray. McCray toe drag release, and that's swallowed by Saunders. 13 seconds to go in the power play. Anderson on the draw. The Wildcats win it back. 10 seconds to go on this power play. Kings look to clear. Troop tries to keep it in, but Glover's going to step up with a nice clearing attempt there, and Nickerson's going to rip it back on net. Saunders catches it to play it. Sideruk looking to generate something, and that's a good stick there. That's Blandon. Out of play. 6:45 to go in the first period here. The Wildcats out shooting the Kings 12-6. Part of that credited to their 3 power plays that they've had this game. Nickerson on the draw versus Lemoyne. Nickerson wins it back, and they cycle it around. Nickerson, assistant captain. Troop. Little mishandle on the point, and Lemoyne with a good step up there. It's a 3-on-2, back the other way. Tries header to Lemoyne. It goes to Cole instead. Good stop there by Maxwell. And a player's down. Cole is injured on the ice. And I missed it there. I don't know if we have a penalty coming, but it was right after that chance. Must have been a hit from one of the Wildcats players. Doesn't appear that there's going to be any penalty on the play. And Mason Cole is not too happy about that. On the draw here, it's the captain, Jackman, versus Zach Banks. Banks snaps it back to Stoddart. Stoddart can't find Ketty there. Sideruk fires it back into the zone. Ringette looking for options. There's Ketty. Gains the red, and he's going to wrap that around. Pearl forechecking Romaine. And Romaine comes away with it. Good forecheck by Pearl there to cause a pin. Ketty into support. Jackman also in the battle. That's Romaine pinned on the wall. Reverse around to Sideruk. Looking for Frazier, nobody home. Stoddart keeps it in the zone. Down for Banks. Up to Ketty. That turning pass is intercepted. Good spot there by Thompson, and it looks like that's going to be a slashing penalty coming to the Wildcats there. As Thompson had a stick infraction committed on him there. Not clear who that's going to be. It looks like number 10, Cohen Pearl, is going off for 2 minutes. 5.5 to go here in this first frame. Shots 12-7 for the Wildcats. And that's a vicious cross check off the draw there. Cole straight through his man, and Nickerson waves him off to the box. So as quick as that power play came, it is gone. And it's going to be 4-on-4. I must have missed earlier we had a misconduct. The Kings have 2 guys in the box. Not sure who that is, but it's 4-on-4. One of the plays must have been a misconduct. I'll look to try and find that out. Appears that it was a 10 on one of the earlier Kings penalties, but that play by Cole, he was clearly still angry about that previous play that didn't draw a penalty when he was hit in the high slot. So it's going to be 4-on-4 for nearly 2 minutes here. Lemoyne on the faceoff, he wins it back. Regrouping behind, that's Weston. To Lemoyne. He's going to curl around with speed. Etheridge going at Slavuta there. Weston controlling it up the right side. Gambin with a good step there, forces him back. Over to Slavuta. Up for Weston. It's a 1-on-2 here. Gambin, good gap, and he's going to block that shot. Maxwell redirects it. And there's a big hit by Nickerson, and that's not a penalty, but they're calling it a penalty. So another delayed penalty on the Wildcats. That's a makeup call if I've ever seen one. That's a clean hit. And Nickerson back at him. Braden Nickerson is laying hits, and that's a good save there by Maxwell to end the fire drill. Good shot from Jackman. An update on that unsportsmanlike misconduct from earlier in the period. At 10:58, it was Landon Culp, an unsportsmanlike misconduct. 10 minutes. So he'll be out with about a minute or so left in the first period. So that's Nickerson heading off, and now it's going to be a 4-on-3 for a minute, and then a 5-on-4 for another minute, roughly. That's rimmed around by Gosling. And Corkum can't get there in time to hold it in. It's back around. Saunders out to stop that. It's Amiro. Surveying. Up for Grancelli. They look to set it up here. It's Grancelli. And that's telegraphed. Corkum is unable to pick that one up. 30 seconds remaining on the 4-on-3. Grancelli up the left side. Comes over the top for Amiro. He's got room to step in. Amiro tries to go upstairs, and that's just a little bit high. Grancelli for Amiro. Wants it again. Over to Chisholm. Wildcats doing a good job keeping them to the outside. That's Ketty. Pressuring Amiro. Good stick there. That's knocked away. Amiro. As the first Valley penalty ends. But now so too does the Kings penalty, so it's 5-on-4 now. Corkum to Chisholm. They work off the right side. That shot's just deflected wide. It's Amiro on the left half wall. Coming over the top. He looks to offload. That's Corkum. He's got lots of time. Shot. That's wide. Gosling looks to clear. He's unable to do so. Corkum to Chisholm. Up for Amiro. Snaps that over. Grancelli to Corkum. Grancelli off the half wall. Toe drag shot. That's blocked by Banks. Amiro spins and fires, and that's just wide. Gosling. Good stick there, but he's not able to come up with it. 15 seconds left in the power play. Ketty is unable to clear. Good spot by Grancelli. Over the top shot, and that's soaked by Ketty. That's a heck of a block there. Gosling tries to send it up. It's 5-on-5. Chisholm, time in the slot, and he scores. Toe drag shot may have deflected off of Troop's stick, and that's going to beat Maxwell over the glove. With 2 minutes, 24 seconds, the Kings take a 1-0 lead on their 11th shot of the game. Breen wins it back for McCray. So the Wildcats, despite playing a pretty good first period, find themselves down 1-0. That shot in on net, and Ringette had that hit finish on him. So we're hearing that goal scored by number 34, Camden Chisholm. That's his third of the season, and it's assisted by Grancelli and Neufeld, who have got their third and second assists, respectively, of the campaign. Terrace in the slot. That deflects away. Neufeld up the right side. Takes a hard hit there from McCray. He's got a couple words for him after that. Here goes Ringette up the left side. Rims that around. Sauter pressuring. Thompson comes away with it. Looking to break out. That's turned over. Terrace almost was able to come away with that. And Blandon goes through his man there in the slot with a delayed offside. Here's Romaine looking to gather some speed. And Nickerson finishes high, and he takes a slash from him there. Last minute of the first. Thomas Gambin, and that's not a nice play there by Frazier. Gambin trying to make a spin move and finishes through the numbers with a cross check. And now Romaine goes after Nickerson. This should be a Valley power play here. 47 seconds remaining in the first. Frazier goes off for two for a cross check. Shots 12-11 for the Wildcats. So to end the period, the Wildcats are going to go with, it's going to be Breen, Terrace, McCray, Gambin, and Pearl. While the Kings counter with Glover, Weston, Thompson, and Jackman. Breen and Jackman on the faceoff. Snap back by Jackman. That's Weston coming around the net. Good composure there to hold on to it, but he's hounded by two guys. Frazier takes him down, and that's a penalty. Against the Wildcats, Terrace is now going to go off for a trip. Wow. That's an interesting call by the refs, but it's going to be 4-on-4 now for the remainder of this period as Terrace goes off. Four on four now. Breen wins that back, but the Kings are able to get it back. Weston curls back into his own zone with 30 seconds remaining. Slavuta being hounded there by McCray. And now it's Weston up the left side. He's got speed. McCray back in the zone. And that's a nice hit there by Pearl. Good hip check. They attempt to clear. Slavuta picks it off, though. 5 seconds remaining. Slavuta shot, and that's wide left. Pearl and Weston race to end the period, and that's going to do it for the first. So after one, the Kings find themselves in the lead 1-0. Wildcats led the shots 12-11. Hi, and we're back for the second period here. Remember, we're starting off 4-on-4 for the next minute and 10. It's a 1-0 game. The Kings find themselves in the lead as the home team. Wildcats outshot them 12-11 in the first period here. Switch sides. The ice looks to be a little bit wet, so be aware for that. The pucks may not be sliding the way they were. Good play there by Amiro to shake off Pearl. Here's Chisholm with speed. Amiro tries to send Lively in on a break. LeBlanc grabs it, and that's just wide. Maxwell got caught a little too far out of his net there. Amiro on the corner blue. Working Pearl. Good stick there to knock it out of the zone. Back for Corkum. To Amiro, they look to regroup. 15 seconds remaining in the Kings penalty. Amiro looking for that long pass, and that's going to go through everyone. Looks like that's going to be an icing call. And it will be, as Cole could not get on that puck quick enough. 1 minute in here. 4-on-4 for the next 10 seconds. And then we'll be back to even strength in 20 seconds. Nickerson on the draw against Lively. That goes straight to Saunders, and he's going to cover that up. Saunders perfect through one. 12 shots faced, 12 shots turned away. He came into this game with an .899 save percentage, looking to get that number back into the 900s where all goalies want to be. Nickerson versus Lemoyne on this faceoff. Nickerson snaps it back. Ringette rims it around to Nickerson. He's pinned there. The ref kind of gets in the way of Lemoyne there, and that gets turned over. Blandon keeps it in. Working low now on Glover as they get into a bit of a scuffle there. Weston, nice cut back. Fans on that attempt, but sticks with it. Tries to chip it out, but Ringette holds his own. Blandon now with a partial break. That's in front. Saunders knocks that to the corner. Weston looking to break out. Kept in by Etheridge, and he is reversed by Glover. He tried to go after the big man there, and that's a nice hit by Glover. Meanwhile, back in the Wildcat zone, it's Nickerson with it. Tries to break it out, and they're going to call an icing there. 2 minutes into the second period, that's an icing call on the Wildcats. So they find themselves back in their own zone. It's going to be Nickerson on the draw. He wins that back against Culp, and they rim it out. Sideruk can't keep it in, and they're going to call no icing, so the Wildcats will be able to get a change. Nickerson hard into the boards there, but he's not able to get the puck. Up for Grancelli now. Grancelli looking to create. He's going to fire something low. Stoddard back to recover. He's being pressured. But it looks like Cameron's going to be able to get that out. Sideruk, last man back. Turns it over. Nickerson still with it. Out front. Not able to pull the trigger. Comes back around. Tries to center that to Terrace in the high slot. It's deflected, but he stays on it. Out muscles Chisholm and keeps it low. There's a hit there. Into the slot. It's Breen. And a stop by Saunders diving across the crease, and that's going to be a good save. And now Terrace and Breen look to be going after guys in front of the net. Big hit there late in the corner by Romaine. Looks like that was on Nickerson. No penalties called on that play. Wildcats were looking for one, I guess. Breen on the faceoff. He lines up against the captain, Jackman. Wildcats have that shooter play set up, trying to get it to McRae, but they can't win it back. Amiro with speed. Cuts back. Breen on him. Up for Thompson. McRae takes a hit there from Amiro. And Thompson comes away with it, and he's got speed. Tried to get that up to Jackman. That should not be an icing. That was hit by the Wildcats players. And it will not be. Thompson hit there. Breen tries to get that out for McCray. And he will. McCray enters the zone with speed down the right side. Corkum on him. Good stop there by Saunders off the blocker. McCray back with it again though. Over the seam to Cameron. Looking for that back door to Breen. Couldn't find him. Breen now. Nice play up to Cameron at the point. To McCray. Shot fans on that. Thompson in front. And now it looks like Jackman's got a step. Gambin, last guy back, trying to get there. Jackman to the backhand and a big stop by Maxwell. Jackman tried to go to the backhand and slide it past the pad, but Maxwell got it down. He got the 5-hole sealed in time. And that's a big momentum shifter for the Wildcats. They needed that save there. 4 minutes into the second period here. Wildcats 14 shots, Kings 12 shots. Kings lead 1-0. Back for Glover. That's a nice block there by Cone Pearl. Now it's Banks with Ketty, 2-on-2, with a lot of back pressure. Over for Pearl. He feathers it through. Pearl to Gosling. Nice deflection. Back to Banks. They play catch. Gosling trying to keep that in, and he will until he won't. Kings fire that back in the zone, and it's Troop with speed. Neufeld looking to pressure to Pearl. Tries to chip that around to Banks. Banks is going to hit LeBlanc there. Force him to throw it back away to Troop. Troop to Pearl. Fires that in. Ketty on it, pressuring Glover. And he goes through him there. Nice hit. Here's Ringette on the left side. Shot. Swallowed up. Rebound. And covered by Saunders. And now Ketty and Neufeld are going to get into it after Ketty gives him a shot. Nickerson and Lemoyne on the face-off here. Lemoyne snaps it back. Slavuta tries to knock that away. Goes to Romaine. Back for Slavuta. And a nice hit there by Blandon, and he gave him a couple extra shots. Nice how do you do there. As Etheridge gets taken out hard. Now stepping up, Stoddard gets stood up by Sideruk. Lemoyne. Nice indirect there to Cole as it sits on the blue line. Slavuta with Cole. He has help coming down. Lemoyne. Backhand, that's knocked away by Maxwell. Good blocker. As they look to break out, but they can't. Amiro fires it back in. Cole. Down for Lemoyne. Squirts out to Cole. He's in the slot. The backhand. Blocked away by Nickerson. Cole wide open in the slot. Lemoyne can't find him. Amiro across to Romaine. The Wildcats are swimming in their own zone here. They need a change bad. Amiro. Slap shot blocked by Blandon. And they try and get it off the glass, but it's kept in by Amiro. Slavuta all alone in front. And that's stopped by Maxwell. Point blank inside the hash marks. That puck snuck through. I think it was Ringette, and they were able to have a couple grade A chances. Maxwell comes up huge again for the Wildcats. That draw is snapped back by Culp. Culp battling Cameron now. Chisholm up for Corkum. That was such a hard pass, it knocked him over. And now here's Terrace. Tries to sauce that one out. Blocked away. Here's Amiro. McCray gave him a couple shots. Corkum to Amiro. Amiro with speed. And there's going to be a penalty. I don't know who they think they're calling the penalty on. Cameron got taken out by Amiro, who had the puck. And that's a trip? A trip. On Cameron. And that does not make a whole lot of sense, because Cameron's the one that fell down. Nevertheless, Kings going to the power play here. And they're going to have that 5-on-4 man advantage. 13 minutes to go in the second period. Their second power play of the game. It's going to be Jackman, Thompson, Frazier, Weston, Amiro. Wildcats counter with Keddy, Gambin, Etheridge, and Gosling. So a tough break for the Wildcats. Jackman snaps that back. Weston controls. To Jackman. Back to Weston. Fans on that pass, but he has time. Jackman. Reverses to Thompson. To Weston. Amiro. Tried to get that down for Jackman. They couldn't connect. Kings win it back. And they recycle it back to Amiro. Frazier. Shot off the seam, and he scores. Ben Frazier with a rocket over the seam. Beats Maxwell over the pad on the blocker side. And that power play marker is going to make it 2-0 for the Kings. So with 12:26 remaining in the second period, Kings lead 2-0. 2 goals on 17 shots. Banks now pressuring Slavuta. He's going to create a battle, but Neufeld comes away with it. He's going to chip in pressure. Ringette reverses it. That's picked up all kinds of time for Lively, and he scores! Kaysen Lively with a snapshot coming down the right wing. Starts off with a good forecheck by Neufeld, and it's given away by the Wildcats. 3-0 for the Kings with 12 minutes. That's 2 goals in just 20 seconds. So now the Kings find themselves with a pretty comfortable 3-0 lead. So on that second goal, it was Ben Frazier, his 5th of the season, assisted by Amiro and Jackman, who have their 3rd and 11th assist, respectively. 2-on-1 here as Ringette collects. He's going to fire that back out. 2-on-1 here. Nickerson has Etheridge with him, and that's a good stop by Saunders there with the blocker. And now it's a 3-on-1 coming back the other way. Lemoyne with Slavuta and with Cole. Lemoyne, oh, and a big stop. That's Whittier, who had just been put back into the game in relief. In relief of Maxwell. So Maxwell, who had come up big a few times for the Wildcats, has been pulled, as that's a turnover there. Slavuta, Lemoyne scores through the 5-hole. Whittier, Cole just into the game, and only a minute later do they score their 3rd of the period. So in a minute and a half, they have 3 goals. It's 4-0 for the Kings. And this game is getting away from the Wildcats very quickly. So it must have been a gear malfunction. So now Maxwell is back into the game. So it must have been a gear malfunction, because Whittier was only there to fill the time, in for just a minute, and unfortunately for him, gave up a goal. A couple bad breakdowns for the Wildcats, and now they're going to use their timeout, as they're just trying to stop the bleeding. So now we'll catch you up. third goal for the Kings, scored by Kaysen Lively. That's his first of the season. Assisted by Nash Neufeld, his second of the season, third point. And the fourth goal that we just witnessed on Owen Whittier is going to be Ethan Lemoyne. That's his third of the year, 11th point, and assisted by Slavuta. Yeah, assisted by Slavuta, his fourth assist, 8th point of the season. So just like that, it's a 4-0 game. So now the Wildcats looking for a spark after a tough 2 minutes there. Really let the game slip away. It's very close to this point. Grancelli looking to create something. That's in front. McCray picks it up. They come in 3-on-2. McCray stood up there by Glover, and that's going to be a penalty, I guess, for head contact. Holding. That's a holding penalty going against Alexander Glover. The Wildcats head to a power play here, and this is going to be a big one. They need to find the back of the net. So far on their 16 shots, they have not been able to solve Joseph Saunders, who's having himself a night. Up to the halfway mark. 10.5 to go in the second period. Breen Terrace, McCray, Gambin, and Stoddart on the power play here. That's snapped back by Jackman. Good face-off. Amiro rims out. Stoddart can't quite hold the line. And Jackman hounds him, and now it's a 2-on-1. Jackman might have Thompson coming in late. Chooses to shoot, and that's high. Good stick by Gambin there. Thompson takes a bump, and that's given away. Breen with speed now. He's got Terrace with him. Terrace in the slot. Toe drag shot. Nice block by Corkum. And now Jackman picks it up, and he clears, and it bounces right back to them. Thompson looking to split the gap there, but Gambin's got another good stick, and he just tosses Thompson to the side there. Thomas Gambin now with the puck. Looking for Terrace, and that's given away again. It's Jackman. He's got Thompson with him. Cut back. Gambin with some nice defensive plays on this power play. But you'd like them to create some offense if you're a Wildcats fan. Breen now forechecking Jackman, trying not to let him clear. Jackman taken out, and that's a nice reverse to Corkum. He's got all day and all night to clear that puck. And looked like that kind of was a pass, but Thompson couldn't handle it. So now they have the puck again. The Wildcats do. Pearl puts it deep. Forechecks. Collects it. He's going to take that behind the net. Cut back, and he's pinned by Corkum. Amiro to pick it up. And that's a terrible call is what that is. He was tripped, but he wasn't tripped. He fell down, and he was being pressured. Got a feel for Banks there. He was just trying to make a hard play, and the refs were looking to even up the calls, I guess. 30 seconds left. It's going to be 30 seconds of 4-on-4 now that Banks heads off. And then the Wildcats are going to be forced to kill for a minute and a half. Neufeld on the draw, wins it back to Romaine. Lively. Cuts back. Working on Pearl. Cuts the middle, Lively. Loses it, but Sidoruk there on the point. Romaine. Across for Lively. Too hot to handle. Troop now. Trying to forecheck. Cross ice Romaine. He's got time. Shot just off the glove of Maxwell and deflected off the crossbar and out. He barely got enough of that one to keep it out. As the Wildcats narrowly avoid going down 5-0. The Kings penalty has just expired, so it's going to be a minute 29 on the power play for the Kings. 8.5 to go here in the second. The shots are 16 for the Wildcats, 21 for the Kings. Cole on the faceoff against Nickerson. Nickerson wins it back. Ringette looking to clear. That's deflected. Cameron picks it up. Sends it 200 feet. Saunders out to play it. Sets it up for Sideruk. Here's Cole. Flings that back to the left side. They reload back to Sideruk. Being pressured hard here by Nickerson. Fired to Lemoyne. Etheridge pressuring Lemoyne, and Nickerson fires it back in. Sideruk leaves for Slavuta. Slavuta up for Romaine. Romaine cuts back to Weston, and he's got all day. Shot and stopped. Good save there by Maxwell. And now that's Romaine going after guys in front of the net. And we're just throwing punches to throw punches. I don't know. He just went after 3 different guys. And the ref just sits there and watches it. All right. 30 seconds to go in this power play for the Kings. One back, off the draw, Grancelli, good chance and a nice stop by Maxwell. Off the draw, Grancelli, another one. So that looks like a set piece for the Kings. And turned away by Maxwell. Culp looking to create something. Shot. Redirected by Chisholm in front. Couldn't find the net. Here's Gambin. He's got McCray up the right side. Working in on Weston. Weston with a nice play to pin there. They create a battle. Here's Culp. Surveying to Grancelli. He's going to try and fire that out, but Banks makes a nice play there. Now it's Blandon. He's got Gambin in the slot, and that's a big save for Saunders on Gambin. Partial 2-on-1, Grancelli. Culp couldn't get there in time. They reversed around. That's going to be too many men on the ice for the Kings. Puck came at an unfortunate time. Sometimes you just get caught in a change, right? And it happens. So, 6:12 to go in the second. Wildcats go to the power play. Shot 17-25. Kings lead. Looks like that's going to be Nick Grancelli to serve that. Face off, Nolan Breen against Jackman, Jordan Jackman, the captain. He's going to win that back. And he's going to ice it, no, and that's kept in by Ringette. Looking to create something here. To Pearl down the right side. Ringette. Down to Terrace. Terrace, sharp angle shot. That hit the side of the net. Breen looking to center. Up for Pearl. To Ringette. That took a funny hop off the wall. But Breen recovers. McCray hounded there by Jackman. Jackman chips. He's looking to go. Do this himself here. Nice aerial play. To Frazier. Oh, and he just lost the handle there. That was a great play by Jordan Jackman. And now it's Terrace. Working in on Amiro, and that's a good stick by Jacob Amiro. Terrace now. Looking, waiting. Amiro has a piece taken out of him there by Terrace. And there's McCray. He's going to pressure Glover. Oh, that's Romaine, sorry. And that's turned over. Jackman's got speed. One-on-one here on Pearl. He's going to take him for a walk and to his forehand. He scores! What a goal by Jordan Jackman. Short-handed. Nice move to get around Pearl there, and then elevates over the blocker on Jared Maxwell. 5-0 lead for the Kings on their 26th shot of the game. 4:56, a short-handed marker. Ketty now with it as the Kings come back out. So Jordan Jackman, that's it. Only his second goal of the season, but a beautiful one at that. Short-handed. As the Wildcats look like they're going to be going to the power play here. We'll update you on the goal after this abbreviated man advantage before the real man advantage. As that pass gets sent out of the zone. Cameron for Banks. He's stood up there at the line, and that's going to be blown whistle. Looks like it's going to be a slash here. And they want number 93, Matthew Thompson. So the Wildcats head to the power play. Update on the goal. Scored by Jordan Jackman, his second of the season. Assisted by Ben Frazier, his 4th assist of the season, and now his 9th point. And assisted by Cade Romaine, his 5th assist of the season and his 6th point. Blandon now behind the net. And they're just giving him all kinds of time here. To Etheridge. He steps out, has a shot, and that's deflected up and over. Gosling to Nickerson. Nickerson down to Etheridge. That gets away. Etheridge with a big hit there on Weston. And there's 3 sticks there somehow. I don't know how that happened. But Weston, to his credit, ate that hit, stood up, kept playing. Here's Gambin up the right side. Look to shoot. Good stick there by Lemoyne. Gambin, nice cutback. But he has that taken off of him by Cole and fired down the ice. McCray with it. Drops for Gosling to Gambin. Back to Gosling. And that's going to be offside on McCray, as the Wildcats can't really get anything set up here. 2:49 to go in the second. 43 seconds to go on the man advantage. There's a battle in the corner. The Wildcats come away with it. Tried to center to McCray, but he couldn't pick that up. 2-on-2 now. Here's Culp. And they can't get anything there. McCray takes a run at Corkum there. Now he gets that puck back. It's Terrace. Knocked away. Ringette collects it. Fires it back in. Offside. Not sure about that. Here's Amiro. Coming in on the left side. Good play there by Ringette to keep him to the outside. Ringette goes hard at Amiro there. Breen with it. Nice area pass to Terrace. Works in on Grancelli. Grancelli with a nice play, and that backhand just goes high. McCray looked like he wanted a piece of Corkum there, but he lost the puck. Ringette. Rim around. Stopped by Saunders. And they look to break out now. That's turned over. McCray still on the ice. He's creating a battle. Here's Grancelli. 1.5 minutes to go. Fires that deep. Cameron to collect. Hit by Grancelli, but he reverses it. Banks for Pearl. Chips it out. Keddy takes a healthy run there at Sidoruk. Banks pressuring Sidoruk. Nobody home there, and that's going to be an icing. And no, I guess not. Pearl behind his own net. Turns that over. There's Frazier. Jackman with a shot. That's blocked by Banks. Sidoruk keeps it in the zone. Thompson. Hit by a couple Wildcats there. 30 seconds remaining in the period. Here's Thompson over the seam. Shot. That's just wide. Good quick release there to get it under the stick. Banks cuts past Jackman as they come in with numbers. Banks. Shot. That's wide. Picks it back up. Last second chance. That's Pearl. 5 seconds remaining. Oh, and he is hit hard there by Romaine. And they called the penalty. I don't know what the penalty's for. I guess interference, they said. So the Wildcats will start the third with a power play. But the Kings find themselves up 5-0. They outshoot the Wildcats 26-17 after 2. And we'll see you in 10 to 15 minutes for the third period. Back here for the third period. Kings lead the Wildcats 5-0, outshoot them 26-17. Remember at the end of the period, Cade Romaine with a 2-minute interference call. That is why the Wildcats start on the power play. Terrace walking in, tries to get a shot, good stick by Glover. And a nice catch there by Weston. Face off now, it's Breen. Coming across the seam, Pearl. Across to Gambin. Now it's Terrace, assistant captain. Gambin to Pearl. Down for McCray to Gambin. To Pearl. Nice stutter step there across the top. He works in. Pearl with a shot, that's just wide. McCray to Pearl. To McCray, down through the seam, a shot that's just high. And he goes straight through. Charlie LeBlanc. Pearl. Gambin. Terrace to Pearl. They're snapping it around, not many chances though. And swallowed up by Saunders, nice save. 45 seconds left in the power play. So Joseph Saunders still safe to this point in terms of the shutout bid. He has been perfect through the first two frames. Nickerson on the face-off. He lines up across from Slavuta. Nickerson thrown out, it's Banks. Banks. Not able to win it, but Nickerson comes in to win it. Gambin. Shot there. Rebound, Keddy, and a nice stop by Saunders in front. Good play by Cameron to get it out front, but Saunders with the save on Keddy. Banks has Nickerson lined up in a shooter position. That doesn't work out though, as Amiro takes and ices. And Maxwell's going to be forced to cover it up. Good pressure by Slavuta there. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Shot on there. That was Neufeld. That rim gets around, but they're not going to call an icing. Amiro back to pick it up. Banks in on him. Amiro not able to win that. Banks with it. Nickerson loses an edge. There's a turnover there as Slavuta was almost gone the other way. Cameron to Nickerson. Looking for options. To Troop at the point. Troop. Nice pass across. Cameron shot. Redirected, and that's covered up. Etheridge with a nice tip there. Big save again by Saunders. Not a huge discrepancy in the shots, only 26-21. That doesn't tell the story of the 5-0 score, though. A couple great grade A's from the Kings for their goals, and also one unfortunate one on Whittier when he was forced to come in and cover for Maxwell in what we can assume is a gear malfunction of some kind. That's immediately cleared into the Kings bench, and we'll do it all over again. Pearl now on the draw. He lines up, counter to Lemoyne. Blandon can't pick that up. It's Cole. Troop with a nice pinch there. He puts that back in the zone. Romaine. Knocked down by Blandon, but he can't find it. Slavuta. Lemoyne trying to create something. That's going to be an icing call against the Wildcats. It comes back the other way. 17-20 to go in the third. They win it back. Chisholm. Grancelli looking to center. Chisholm tries to get a stick on it, but he can't. Nice play by Troop there. Troop giving chase. Chipped around there by Sidaruk. Etheridge collects, fires it back in. McCrae, first man on. Sidaruk to Chisholm. That breakout pass doesn't connect. Troop fires it back in. Flung around to Chisholm. Taken away by Pearl. Battle there. McCrae loses it. Terrace now forechecking as that gets chipped around. Terrace finishes his hit as Grancelli is forced to chip it out, and that's going to be an icing call against the Kings. Breen on the face-off. That gets rimmed around. Grancelli looking to chip it out. The Kings looking to break out here. Chisholm loses that one. Breen offloads for McCrae. That's poked away. Here's Chisholm. To Jackman. Off the right side, working in on Stoddard. Centering pass to Thompson. That one didn't connect. McCrae chips it out to the middle, and it looked like Romaine wanted a piece there. Working now in the corner, it's Terrace. To Ringette. Fired back around. Now McCrae. Up for Gambin. That's given away. Cameron, though, is there to pick it up. Glover. Sent around to Thompson, and now Jackman with speed. Coming in on Gambin. He's going to fire that deep. Frazier first to it. Skips by him. And now they look to break out. Aerial pass. Looks like that's going to be an icing against the Wildcats. 14:51 to go in the third. Shots remain the same, 26-21 for the Kings. Nickerson wins that against Lively. The rim is on. Etheridge can't get there in time. Corkum, though, forgot something. But it stays in the zone. LeBlanc had that knocked away. Here's Nickerson up the left side. Fires that in deep. And now it's Corkum reversing to Amiro. Blandon tried to take a piece out of him there. And now Amiro goes hard through him there to the corner. Lively there to pick it up. Etheridge keeps in. Amiro with it. Forechecked hard there by Blandon. Corkum. Nickerson. Plastered there by Lively. Etheridge comes across the seam looking to get a shot. He can't find it though. Neufeld can't get a handle on that. as it's wrapped back around to Saunders. Here comes Amiro with a head of steam. Stood up there by Ketty, and that's a big hit there on Lively as he tried to go through Ketty. Ketty showed him what a reverse hit is. Cameron hard on LeBlanc there. LeBlanc being hounded from different angles. Banks takes a hit. Cameron through LeBlanc. A shot that's off the bar, and they can't collect the rebound. Good shot by Cole. And the rebound was right there for Lemoyne. It just bounced over him. Cameron, meanwhile, in the corner, going to work against LeBlanc. Up to Sideruk. Shot. Redirected. Nice save. Another one by Maxwell. A couple incredible stops by Maxwell. Nice redirection there by Lemoyne. And now LeBlanc finds himself on the ice courtesy of Josh Cameron. So they only added 2 shots to Maxwell there. I counted about 3 or 4 myself. Incredible sequence from him. His team might be down in the game, but he is not quitting. Lemoyne had a layup on the rebound from the post, but it just skipped over his stick, and he was not able to put it back for the goal. Slavuta working low. He takes a hit. 2-on-2 behind the net. Breen comes away with it. That's up for Terrace. Chip off the far wall. With a head of steam, and Romaine hard through McRae. Breen sticks with it. He's hit there by Romaine. Comes up now to Slavuta, and they attack. LeBlanc reverses to Sideruk. McRae can't get that. That's a weak shot, but generates a rebound. Turned aside. Breen with a nice move there as he dances to the middle. He's taken out. No call to be had. Troop collects. Just fires that one off the end boards. Romaine looking to gain the red. Nice pass over to Lemoyne. Lemoyne up the right side. Toe drag shot around Gosling, and that's just wide. Here's Nickerson. Tried to center that to Blandon. Knocked away. Chisholm to Weston. Weston, hard pass up for Lemoyne. Stoddard to Etheridge. Etheridge had that taken away. Sent back for Troop. There's a couple hard hits on the Kings bench boards there. Blandon sticking with it. Tries to center that to Etheridge. They can't find it. Shot by Troop. What a save by Saunders. He's completely sprawled out, and the Wildcats can't find it. He does not have his goal stick with him right now. Centered for Etheridge, and he's going to be able to collect that stick as that puck is deflected away. Stoddard turns that over, and it's sent out of the zone. Troop. And that's a giveaway to Culp. Culp in all alone. Shot. Nice save by Maxwell. And that's a big hit by Nickerson on Grancelli. But the Kings, unwavering, still collect the puck, and they're still trying to create offense here. Weston. To Amiro, he looks to wind up. Nice cut back there. He's going to fire it back to Weston. Good forechecking here from the Wildcats. Nice play by Troop to step up and keep it in, but it's a hand pass. Banks against Jackman on the draw. Banks wins it back. 10:08 to go in the third period. Banks forechecking. Nice hinge back to Amiro, and he's going to come up the ice with speed. Tries to attack. The Wildcats converge. Here's Banks. It's a one-on-one. He may have Ketty joining. Taken down by Corkum. Ketty tries to pick that up, but he can't. Amiro trying to chip it out. Good play by Ketty to keep it in. They regroup behind their net. That's the captain, Jordan Jackman. Banks has that deflected off of him. Tries to center to Ketty, and that's just behind him. Ringette now. Looking to make a play. It's Cone Pearl. Gives that one away to LeBlanc. And Breen with a good hit on him there. That puck sent back. Maxwell forced to play it. Gambin, who wears the C for the Wildcats. Gives that. That's turned over. Here's Neufeld, and a good save by Maxwell on the glove. Took a bounce over the stick of Breen. And it was turned over. Breen being hounded now as he chips that into the zone. Here's Romaine with speed. Terrace takes that off him. Comes in 1-on-4. Tries to make a move around Sidoruk. That doesn't pan out. Terrace ridden off the puck as they send that out. Stays in the zone. And nope, never mind, offside. Is that Jack? Nickerson to take it against Lemoyne. Lemoyne snaps it back. That pass by Glover gets away, but Slavuta picks it up. He's got Lemoyne with him. Slavuta up the left side, over to Lemoyne, and that's a wide open net. What a pass by Alexander Slavuta. And Ethan Lemoyne wide open there. Their 6th goal of the night on just their 32nd shot. What a passing play. So that goal is scored by Ethan Lemoyne. Ethan Lemoyne, that's his 3rd goal of the season, his 11th point, assisted by Alexander Slavuta. His 4th assist of the season and his 8th point to make it 6-0 for the Sackville Kings. Nickerson turns it back the other way. He's got Etheridge with him. Nickerson, a shot, stopped by Saunders. 7:06 remaining in the 3rd. It is a 6-0 game, but what's lost in all the offense is Joseph Saunders has turned away 23 of 23, has the shutout bid alive with 7 minutes remaining. Banks is not square at all. And the Kings win it. That's sent off the glass. Stoddart keeps that in. Cycle down, Amiro. Looking to make a play, that's Corkum. Grancelli sends it back to him. That's fired out of the zone. Stoddart. Aerial play. Sent out. That's a nice hit there by Ketty on Grancelli. That's sent down, and that's going to be an icing. Culp on the face-off. Loses that to Banks. Rimmed around. Ketty fires that up. Sidoruk grabs it. Sidoruk keeping it in. Good job on the point. Here's Culp, a shot, and that's swallowed up by Maxwell. Maxwell still battling. He has given up 5 goals on 33 shots. Remember, one of the goals was on Whittier during an equipment malfunction where Maxwell was temporarily out of the game. Nolan Breen on the faceoff. He wins it back. Here's Terrace. Dangling to the middle. Good body play by Sidoruk. He goes through Terrace hard. Terrace gives him a shot. That's a high aerial play. Frazier in a foot race with Gambin, and he's going to get there first. Gambin rides him hard into the boards. And that's not a penalty. It's hitting hockey, right? You're allowed to do that. Inconsequential in a 6-0 game. Gambin goes off. 2 for interference. That's a hard hockey play. Wildcats parents none too pleased. Jackman snaps it back to begin the power play. Romaine looking for a lane, a shot kicked aside by Maxwell. Frazier for Romaine to Jackman. Jackman has room to walk in. He's going to take it. Cross to Frazier. That one-timer is, it's well wide. Let's put it that way. Up to Jackman. Surveying. Leaves it for Sidoruk to Romaine to Frazier. Frazier wants it again. Down to Jackman. And that's a giveaway right there. Ketty unable to clear. And they keep it in. That could prove costly here. Frazier sees traffic, fires it. Blockered away. And another big save by Maxwell on the put-away chance by Thompson. Couple nice stops there. Cameron gives Jackman a bump. Then takes it off of Thompson and fires it into his own bench. So that's going to stay in the zone. 58 seconds left on the penalty kill. 4:37 to go in the game. That's played back. Weston looking low. Nice stop there on Glover. Wildcats look to clear. They can't do so. LeBlanc to Weston to LeBlanc. LeBlanc wants it. He shoots. Kicked aside. Glover with the rebound. Nickerson's going to go through him, and he's going to clear that. Couple nice saves there again by Maxwell. Weston winds it up. He's got speed. He's going to stop up, wait for everyone to catch up. LeBlanc tries to work that past Blandon, and Blandon stands him up there. Nice hit, and he sends him back down to the ice when he gets up, just for good measure. That's rimmed around, Lively with plenty of time to make a play. Saucered up to Weston. Weston, shot, stopped again by Maxwell. Penalty kill expires. They don't play it, so that looks like too many men, and it goes into the bench. 3:33 remaining in the game. 6-0 Kings. They outshoot the Wildcats 39-23. Joseph Saunders still with his shutout bid alive, looking to preserve that for the next 3.5. Banks on the faceoff, wins it back. They send it across. Pearl looking for that area pass to Ketty. Corcoran first on it, though. Ketty with a good stick. deflects that. Face off in the zone. Banks on the face-off, loses it. Sent up ice, picked off. Here's Amiro to Corkum. Pearl knocks that away, but they're offside. Ketty with a big hit there on number 21. That's Slavuta. Center to Banks. Pearl with a nice pass. Back to the slot. Slap shot, and that's just high by Ketty. Banks goes hard at Slavuta there. A brilliant chance for the Wildcats to end the shutout bid there. Looks like it got deflected over the net. Back for Troop. He's ridden hard there. Battle in the corner. Up to the point, Sidoruk. Shot, redirected off the skate of Lemoyne, and a nice save by Maxwell. 2:06 to go in the game. That's the 40th shot of the night for the Kings. They win that back. They try and send that out to McCrae, but he can't get there. McCrae pressuring Romaine. Chisholm with it. Sends it in. Cole on Gambin. Gambin with a nice spin move to get away. And a nice little reverse hit on Grancelli. Terrace up the left side with speed. Working on Sidoruk. Centers, nobody home. Breen over the top of the seam. Nice pass to Terrace. Terrace looking to find it on his backhand. Still has it, a forehand, a nice shot, and a good save by Sanders. Terrace still with it. McCrae pressuring. Down for Gambin. Rims that around. Up for Culp. Culp surveying his options. Fires that deep. Breen with a nice little sewer touch on his knee to keep it in. Glover with it. And Gambin takes a run at him. Hit him a little high. That does not look like it tickled. .40 seconds to go in the game. Gambin up the left side. Working on Glover. That's turned over. Sent back in the zone. Blandon first on that. Forechecked hard by Thompson. 20 seconds remaining. Here's Thompson looking to center. Blocked by Gambin. Gambin turns it with speed. Final 10. Etheridge. Back to the middle. Gambin takes a swipe at a guy. Here's Jackman trying to get another chance with 3 seconds left. He's going to shoot, and it's a field goal. That's going to end the game. Kings win 6-0. Shots 41-25. And most importantly, Joseph Saunders gets that shutout for the win. These teams play their next game next Saturday, December 6th. The Kings at 4 o'clock in Member 2 against the Jets. And the Wildcats at 8 o'clock at the Simon Sports Center against the Dukes. I'm Hunter Hood with High Button Sports. Thank you very much for watching.